I have a question though. How am I moving forward today? And I never received my results.
You never received your results. You're talking about the DNA possibly?
Yes, ma'am.
Well, we'll get to that in a minute. Let me get done with some particulars before we get started with involve the AG.
Deandra Coates for the Attorney General's Office. Today we're asking you to move forward on establishing the parent-child relationship between 3 children. We had ordered DNA back in February 21st, 2025, I believe, Your Honor. Mr. Mays did not show for the first DNA appointment on March 7th. Then he failed to appear for the April 22nd of this year, both this year, DNA. So we are asking to move forward.
Hey, I got a question. I have a question. How is that possible when I took it April 22nd? I took my DNA April 22nd.
Okay, hold on a minute. Let me, she may not have been aware of that.
But I took the DNA test.
You're here now, you're telling us that now, so let me see if she can figure this.
Your Honor, we attempted to ask him the time and location in where he went to go get the DNA testing from. He could not even tell us that. And
Hey,
so
why I couldn't tell y'all that when y'all
Okay, Mr. Mays, you can't just interrupt and talk over everybody. I'm gonna be following the rules one at a time. I'm recording this. Everybody talking at the same time is a jumbled mess, so I'm gonna stop it. You've been muted, so I can't hear anything you're saying right now. Let me ask Miss Coates, did you go back in and or where was it ordered to go to? Could you check there? Have you done anything to see if the results?
Yes, Your Honor, we did reach out to our liaison, and Miss Exilia checked our systems as well. He did not show up. I asked Miss Exilia Gonzales to ask Mr. Mays what time and where was the location he went to get tested. He could not give that information to Miss Gonzales. So we believe he did not appear for his testing, and we believe our system is correct, and we are asking to move forward at this time.
Okay, April 22nd was just last week or just this week, actually. It was
Yes,
just
Your Honor.
today's Friday. Okay, Mr. Mays, go ahead and start your video and unmute yourself and I can ask you some questions.
And I just stopped his video, Your Honor, simply because he's cutting out, so I think that's why he's lagging so much in hearing your response. But he was ordered also in March 7th to appear for DNA. He did not.
Well, I get that, but if he did appear, I'd like to figure that out before we go any further. Mr. Mays, that you're not on video, that's fine. Maybe your audio will work better. That's usually the case. So now you're unmuted. Go ahead and tell me exactly what happened on April 22nd, what time, what place, or how do I know where you went unless you tell me?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. I went to the place that they have noted that they sent there. I gave the lady my ID, and she took my ID because I did have an appointment there. I went to the place that the court sent me, so they should have it on file where they sent me to. Correct?
Oh, yes, but you'd have an idea of where you went. Did you go to the AG
Uh,
office? Did you
I
go
went to
to,
the I went to the address that they I went to the address that they provided me to go to.
you don't know what it was?
No, I went to the DNA testing place. That's the place that I went to that they told me to go to. The place that they sent to my email, that's the address that I went to.
What town
And
was it?
I want to say like 4 o'clock, like 4:40, 4:40, because I
Okay.
called the lady. I called up there and I told them, hey, I'm not going to be able to make it because I don't have a vehicle. I don't have a vehicle and I'm not in that area right now. I won't be able to make it at this time right here, but I can make it before y'all close. And the lady told me that was fine. When I made it there, the lady took my ID. She did my DNA test. She took like 4 swabs out of my mouth. Yeah, I took it April 22nd.
Okay, so you got there before 5 and you don't know what street address or what town it was in. Where'd you go?
That's I'm not being rude or anything, Your Honor, but not trying to get nobody a hard time. But if they don't know that, then that means I shouldn't even request it to be taken one, right?
Mr. Mays, it's not about them, it's about you. We do this routinely. They do this routinely. They're experts.
Yes, ma'am. They sent me the address. They sent me the address to my email where I
I
had to
get it,
go.
but I don't have that address. And I know of 2 ways they do it. One, you go to their office and you do it there with somebody who's trained to do that, or you go to a lab somewhere else if depending on where you are and how
Yes, man. I have bad memory, man, Your Honor. I don't. I went took it. I took it April 22nd there. I'm not sure, but they need to update it or whatnot. The lady took my ID. I went there and yeah, I went there to
All
take the
right,
DNA
you're
test.
repeating yourself. But if you were in a car, did you drive? Did
No,
somebody,
man, I did not. No, man, I didn't drive. Somebody took me.
and you had to tell them where to go, so you had the address?
I just gave them the email. I mean the email, Your Honor, because I have short-term memory loss. So I gave them the email and I went there and I took the
And
DNA
you
test.
have no recollection of what street it was on, a main street or
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. I have all the recognition that the address that they sent me to, the address that they sent to my email. That's the address that I went to.
Tell me the street name.
I don't know the street name. The address that they sent me.
Well, that would be on the address. Why would
It's in the email that they sent me. I took the DNA test, but I don't remember exactly what I took. I take medication, Your Honor, so I'm not like I take medication, so
so why
I have short-term memory loss.
did you go on March 7th?
Because I didn't have a ride, Your Honor. I live at a park. I don't have nowhere to live, Your Honor.
You're homeless?
Yes, ma'am.
You really live in a park? Is that what you just said?
Yeah, yes, ma'am. I don't have a place to live.
You're not couch surfing at least somewhere with friends or relatives?
My family is deceased.
Your mother, your father, and any siblings? No family at all?
My mother and father is deceased.
You don't have brothers or sisters?
No, ma'am. I have two sisters, but my baby mother and my sister, they messed up. They messed up my relationship with
No, I
my
did not.
yeah,
Yeah.
they messed up my relationship with my ex, and I have nowhere to live due to those people right there. And also, Your Honor, I have a case back on me when I got arrested dealing with her. That's why I can't get a good job. Also,
Okay, I'm not talking about any of that.
I'm just telling you.
Trying to resolve the issue of the DNA. The state says they didn't get it.
Oh,
Miss
I took it though.
Miss Coates, was it supposed to be at y'all's address, your office address, or one of your employees do this, or did you send them to a lab somewhere else?
Your Honor, they were set up at a lab. He was set up with one of our genetic testing labs. I know what time and location he's supposed to be at. But we were trying to confirm whether or not he did show up. And that's why we kept trying to ask him. Now, my understanding is if you show up after your appointment time, whether it's hours later or the next day, they charge you. So
They didn't charge me anything.
Even if it's like within the hour, if he was set for 4 and he got there before 5, they would have not counted that?
I'm not entirely sure, Your Honor. I know before.
May I say something about that?
Hold on, Ms. Jackson.
Ms. Jackson, I don't know what you would know about that. What would possibly?
Because I was late to mines.
Okay.
And they did. I was actually a day late because I had doctor's appointments for my kids. So I read the paper wrong. But when I came the next day and I did it in the morning, they didn't charge me anything. I went to a fast lab right up the street from me. They took my ID and everything, but they did not charge me anything.
Do you have that was drawn, Ms. Coates? Do you have that from that lab?
Yes, she was drawn. She showed up and had hers done. Her and the children were all tested on March 3rd, 2025.
And she was scheduled for March 2nd? No,
I show she was scheduled for
because they told me I
March
was
3rd at 8:15.
Okay, well then I guess I showed up late, but I thought it was the second that I was supposed to come because when I went in, the lady said, "Oh, you're late. You were supposed to come yesterday," but they still swapped me. They didn't have no issue. It was very quick.
I'm just telling you, March 2nd is a Sunday. I don't know if they're open on Sundays. That's the question. Okay.
Maybe that's why but I was late. But I was late and I did get it done. Yes, ma'am. But no, they did not try to charge me anything.
Yeah, they're not open on the weekends, Your Honor. So she showed up on time.
Okay, but it's the same lab he was ordered to go to.
I was supposed to go. I went to Fast Lab.
No, Your Honor, they were sent to 2 different locations based on their area of where they're residing.
And so who gets to do the test? They send it off to somebody else or one of the labs?
So what happens, Your Honor, we draft the order and wherever the nearest location is, that's where we set them up. Now, he claims to be close by to an Edinburgh location, Your Honor, so we set him up for 2 o'clock. That location closes at 4 o'clock, Your Honor. So what happens is we send a copy of that order to the testing location, and then the parties are told time and date and the address of where they're supposed to go. So the location already has the DNA order of what's going on. So
Yes, ma'am. Don't they take a picture of you after you take the DNA test? She had to take a picture of me with a camera also and wait to wave it to make sure that it's me, I guess.
When you first come in.
Have you ever done it before, Mr. Mace?
No, man, I never had to done it before because I even had someone drive me 5 hours back to the valley to take the DNA test. Because I knew that they wasn't gonna let me reschedule it again.
So you weren't in Edinburgh and they set you in Edinburgh? Why didn't you tell them so they could
Because I was in that area at first, but I wasn't in that area at the moment, Your Honor. I wasn't in that area at the
What
moment.
county are you in now?
I took the like what like, I'm just concerned like why.
I want to know where you are now so that if I do anything, I need to know where you're at.
If you do anything,
Well, are you
I,
asking in there? Are you to go through it? Or are you admitting you're the father of the children?
oh, I'm not admitting to nothing, Your Honor, without DNA.
So what county are you at?
I'm located. I'm actually not even in the valley right now.
Yes, you are.
If Your Honor, can you stop speaking on my situation? That's the reason right now why I want to terminate my rights and everything. I don't want anything to do with those kids. I will pay her child support or whatever, but I don't want anything to do with those kids right now. Also,
Okay, I'm not even getting to that point yet.
yes, ma'am. I'm letting you know.
If I'm not talking to you, don't say anything, don't do anything. You'll be muted too.
Yes.
Don't interrupt.
Can I mute myself?
Yes, please mute yourself.
Thank you.
Ms. Coates, he's here. He's asked for DNA. He's claimed there was some kind of glitch in this, whatever. What's the problem with me ordering it right now and to make him go? And he hears from me and we make it convenient. And if he doesn't go, that's it. That's his third shot. And that's his last bite at the apple, or he's the dad.
because, Your Honor, he just stated that he will pay child support and he wants nothing to do with the children. So that's what we were going to ask, was for no visits, because he's in agreement to no visits. She's in agreement to no visits. So
No, I'm not going to play that game with any of y'all, especially Ms. Jackson and Mr. Mays. This is not a termination court. I don't care what you want. I'm going to do what's in the best interest of the children, whether you like it or not. The first thing I think is we need to get Mr. Mays on board with him being the biological father. He already stated several times he wouldn't agree to admit it. He's here disputing it. Now, I usually give 3 times. I think there's only been 2. And why he bothered to drive 5 hours to the valley when he was closer and didn't ask for a closer location, I have no idea. But it is what it is. So, Ms. Coates, Mr. Mays, you told me you're where, or you didn't tell me? Where are you right now? What town, what city, what county? Tell me something.
I can go back to the same location that they sent me to, Your Honor.
You want to go back to Edinburgh and you say you're not there? Well, that's
No,
ridiculous.
man, I'm not there at the moment, Your Honor. I have people that try to help me every once in a while. You know, they try to help me every once in a while. So I get to that address station. I'm on it like my life is hard. I don't have anyone, so like I move around the best way I can and go back to where I can at my moment.
Miles to
So
the valley.
yeah, I can make it.
You can make it there just
Yes,
to.
man. I have people that help me.
Why couldn't you go
Yes,
to
man. I can have people to help me. Yes,
on
ma'am.
Monday? Won't you still be here on Monday and you can go to somewhere closer by?
Yes, man. I went April the 22nd. Y'all don't want to wait to see. You don't want to wait to see if that docket that paperwork is going to come in, or either call the place that they had me sent to see if they're going to get it, because I took it, Your Honor. On my I took it for a fact. I went there and I
They're
took it.
saying they can't find it, they can't trace it. And so the only way I know how to fix it is to redo it. But I do have
It was, the name of the place was TMB, whatever, TMB. I don't know. I think it was in Edinburgh, Texas. That's the like. I'm not understanding. I'm not understanding how they can't see that in their system if they sent me to go take the DNA test there. So how would they get it anyway? How would they get it how would they get it? So basically, they wouldn't get it then.
Okay, stop, Mr. Mays. Let me let the state come in. I think they brought a witness. Is that correct, Ms. Coates?
Yes, Your Honor. Miss Exilia Gonzales.
Ms. Exilia, if you would get on video, thank you. Let me swear you in, ma'am. Oh, first state your name again for me in this case.
Celia Garcia Gonzalez.
Thank you. You raise your right hand. You swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
Yes, Judge.
Okay, I know there's a dispute. He claims he went and y'all can't find it, so I'm trying to figure out where the miscommunication was, but he talked about being drawn. He talked about the being, the beauty swap thing, and he talked about having a photo taken and that he was somewhere in Edinburgh. So, Ms. Coates, go ahead, and you want to question your witness? You may do that.
Miss Gonzales. As part of your job duties as a child support officer, are you able to set up DNA appointments and review DNA appointments?
Yes. I set them up and review, and I have access to their system.
And in that case, were you able to look into this case, whether Mr. Mays appeared for his DNA testing?
Yes, so I did contact our liaison at our third party, and she stated that as of right now, there are no results and there's no pending results. I did also contact the Edinburgh location to inquire if he did appear. Sometimes they do delay sending in the results by 1 or 2 days, and they informed me that they close at 4 and that they do not have him on file at this time.
And do you know where he was supposed to go on April 22nd for
Yes,
his
he was. Yes, he was supposed to go to our Edinburgh location in Edinburgh, Texas.
At what time?
He was scheduled at 2 p.m.
If he went to another location, could we see that?
Yes, if he went to another location, we could see that. And normally that location does reach out to our offices to confirm that they are able to draw.
All right, yeah, okay. I'm willing to agree with whatever y'all want to agree with. Now, if one of those kids come back not mine and y'all got that paperwork, how is that going to be settled?
And then
Because I went and took the DNA test. I took the lady, as soon as I took it, the lady walked right out of it. So y'all are correct. They did close, but the lady didn't leave at 4 o'clock.
Mr. Mays, earlier you said you got there before 5 o'clock.
Yes, ma'am. I got there at like 4 o'clock to 4:40, ma'am, and I took the DNA test. As soon as I took it, the lady herself walked out of the building. So they are correct. They do close at that time, but I got there and I took my DNA test. The lady did not pull blood. She took a mouth swab and she put my name on it. I had to sign paperwork and everything, and she also made me stand against the wall and took a picture of me. She took 2 pictures because the first one was coming out too dark.
Okay, Mr. Mays, now I'm going to ask you to stop talking. It's not your turn right now. I know you're anxious and upset. However, I got to figure this out. Now, I don't like to push people into anything, especially if it's in dispute. So, Ms. Gonzalez, you were talking, or Ms. Coates, you were still asking questions?
yes. So just to clarify, Ms. Gonzalez, it looks like we did send a letter to Mr. Mays about his next appointment, which was at Drug Testing and More, 723E University. And the phone number is 956-205-0103. Is that the number you called?
Yes, that's the number I called, and they stated they didn't have the results. But if he can provide me the lady's name that assisted him, I can recall.
I'm not sure, ma'am, what's the lady name, but she was like a heavier set of woman. I was there. I waited in there. It was cold and everything, and I took my DNA test. That's what I'm not understanding. I most definitely went and took the DNA test. I'm not gonna sit here and lie to y'all about that. And also, I wouldn't even try to attend the camera if I didn't. Like, I wouldn't even be on here if I didn't.
Mr.
I went and
Mays,
took it.
I've heard your story about 10 times now. I hear you. I heard you. I don't need you to repeat it over and over. I need to resolve this. So if you can stay quiet for a minute, let's see what else can happen. Ms. Coates, did you have any other questions?
No, Your Honor, that's it for
Ms.
Ms. Gonzalez.
Gonzalez, do they give them receipts of any kind? Like, most people don't ask for people's names. I've learned over the course of my lifetime you have to do that, but most people like this don't do that. So how would he be able to
Well,
prove there? And
with him giving me a time, I can go on mute, Judge, and recall the facility.
He just said between 4 and 4:40. I don't know if they closed the door behind him when they let him in and then continued business.
Normally, I've been an assistant with the DNA, and normally they don't allow anybody to walk in and do DNA testing 30 minutes prior to close. But with him giving me a time frame and confirming it was at the Edinburgh location and it was a lady assisting him, I can recall and reobtain information.
Well, he definitely said it was Edinburgh. Now, whether it was the East University location or not, or if they have more than one, I guess you can look. Can you look them up?
They only have one.
They only-
Otherwise, they only have one. Otherwise, he would have gone to a Westlaco location. Those are the only locations that we have there in the valley.
Okay,
At the-
Mr. Mays, if you would unmute, do you know if you were Edinburgh or Westlaco? They're towns that are right next to each other, probably. You can
It was
unmute.
it was the TBM location. TMB. I might not be saying it right. TMB or something like that. It was like TMB, wherever TMB is.
They're both named the same location.
Ma'am?
They're
They're
both
both-
named the same location.
They're both TMB. That's what they are.
DTM.
CTM. Does that?
D as in David, T as in Tom, as M as in Mary.
Do you remember
DTM.
that? DTM, not TMB. Do you remember that?
No, man. Hold on, let me. I'm checking right now. Yes, I don't know if it was the Edinburgh location or the other one. I'm not sure, but I went to one of those locations right there.
Okay, well, let me have Miss Gonzales go off record and go call the Westlaco office just in the abundance of caution that maybe it's sitting in another office. So nobody talk, please. You can mute yourself. You can stop your video. The record's still going. I'll come back when Miss Gonzales is ready with some more information. Okay, Miss Gonzales, you're going to report on your call to the lab.
Yes. Yes, ma'am. I did contact the lab. I did let them know that I was recontacting and because I attempted earlier and they let me know that he didn't appear. I did give him a time frame between the 4:40. They stated yes, he did appear at 4:50. Sabrina went ahead and did let him do the collection because this would have been the third attempt of him no showing. So she went ahead and updated the system just now with that information.
Okay. Doing that. Thank you, Miss Gonzales. That was very important. Mr. Mays, you were there. Fine, you proved it. Ms. Coates, he submitted his lab swab, so I'm going to allow the results to come back. How long will it
Am
take?
I going to have anything? Am I going to be able to talk not one time? Because I have not been able to say one thing in this whole conversation.
No, we're trying to do.
That a man got too pregnant that didn't want your ass.
Mays, stop.
See? All right, I'm putting myself on mute
Miss
now.
Jackson, stop. Stop. This is my court, my rules. I get to talk all the time if I want. This is a preliminary matter. I don't know what you'd have to do with it other than to support his testimony that you could go late and you wouldn't get charged for it. I appreciated that. Hey, you're having to talk about what a bad guy he is, what a bad dad he is, all
I
that.
didn't even say that. You have not let me speak on anything.
And I don't want you to say that because I don't have proof of the DNA yet. I'm trying to get it. If he went to the draw, he's entitled to the results. So no, I don't need to hear all the stuff you want to say right now. It's not relevant to the issue of whether he went and did the lab work and if the results are back. So Ms. Gonzales has already testified that what did happen. And so now I'm asking the state, Ms. Coates or Ms. Gonzales, either, how long do you think the results will be before the results are in?
I did speak with her. She said that they're rushing him, so they're putting him in. I should be able to see that he's in the system as of Monday, and then results should be within the week. So
We
Okay,
can come back May
I can-
9th.
that would be fine. Is that the next available Comal date? Looks like the very next one. Yep. 2 weeks from now.
Yes, Your Honor, we have May 9th. We can do them at 8:30 or 10:30. I don't see any priority cases for May 9th.
Okay, Mr. Mays, the results come back in a week, but my next court day is in 2 weeks, and you come back Friday, May 9th at 8:30?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, now, Ms. Jackson, you want to unmute? My only question to you is, are you available Friday, May 9th to come back for this hearing? I asked you to unmute and to answer my question.
They muted me, so I couldn't unmute myself.
Okay, thank you.
I'm available again
Okay, well, this is what has to happen. He appeared in court, asked for DNA. He was set up.
His third time. She has stated that it was his third time being a no call, no show. That's
That's
not
not
fair.
true.
Mr. Mays, she's not talking to you. She's talking to me, and I'm gonna stop her. This was his third time.
Gonzales
So now
stated
we have to
that
wait
was
for the
his
result.
third. Yes, ma'am, but that is his third time. This man is pushing it back on purpose. That is not fair to me that I have to stop my life to continue a case that I have been trying to get for 5 years. I have literally been calling, been staying on top of
Time
everything.
you could have come to court. If you've got 3 kids now, we're doing this. He went to the third time.
Came to court. I've been opened my case when my daughter was first born. We were not together. I've been opened my case when she was first born in 2019, ma'am. I
How you end up
literally,
with 2 more kids?
because you convinced me, but we're not talking. I'm talking to the judge. We are not talking.
Yes, ma'am. For me to do my job, I need to have the DNA results. I want to be right. I don't want to
How
be
is that fair that he gets 4 tries to show up to something? That does not make any sense. That's 4 tries.
That's not your business, Ms. Jackson. That's
It
mine.
is my business if I have to continuously come to court and stop my time. I've been in court for 4
what you
hours.
need to do to get the court order. And right now, if this case was just filed September of last year. This is
It
not.
was not filed September of last year, ma'am.
I was looking at the wrong. It was filed November of last year. November.
No, it was not, ma'am. I have a case. I've been
Then
having
you
a
can
case.
call the AG and fight with them about it. I'm talking
I'm
about
not fighting with you, ma'am. I'm not fighting with you.
Jackson. I'm telling you, this lawsuit was filed November 5th. Am I wrong, Ms. Coates? I picked the right docket case to look at.
No, that's when they served me my papers. Even they have it on my website that it says February 5th. That's not when I got served my papers. My papers were sent to my house in November. And I have the paperwork upstairs if somebody needs it. That's when they sent me my paperwork, and I called them and told them, yes, ma'am, I received my paperwork. Prior to that, I've been open the case. It's been almost 6 years. My daughter is about to be 6 in September. I've been open the case. And I added kids when I had them. I added them onto my case, just like they stated for me to do.
Man, that sounds like a setup.
Mr. May, stop. Mr. Coates?
Your Honor, this case was filed in November of last year.
No, it was
Now,
not.
we did try to, it looks like we possibly tried to do a CSRP, Your Honor, back in 2020. But I don't think that was able to go anywhere.
Yeah, they closed it out. They said they were about to close it out because of the fact that they could not get in contact with me, because around that time I was having some situations where I had to move home from home. And that's why I
so
contacted them.
neither party showed for that CSRP back in June
I never
2020.
got it. Yes, ma'am. I never got it. I never got a paper on that. I never got a call on that. That's when the lady stated that they were that at a court case.
I understand your frustration. I've been and
I don't think nobody understands that.
Let me talk.
Having to go back and forth and
waste the rest of our time with all the times you went to their office and it didn't happen. If it didn't happen, it didn't happen. You're here now. You're gonna have to trust me. This case was just filed in November. All the other times, if you want to go to the AG office and argue with them and complain about it and why it took this long, you have the right to do that. But I can't have that in court because it doesn't move your case any faster.
So why does he get So, ma'am, why does he get 3 tries to go and do his DNA test, and then on the third time?
Explain policy. I'm not going to explain any of that.
Why did it take so long? I mean, come on, it's been a whole month. I'm not understanding why nobody's calculating.
Ms. Jackson, nobody promised that the court system was overnight. It's not.
I never said it was overnight, ma'am, but we pushed it out. I don't know if you read
Ms. Jackson, if you come back from 9th, we have the results and we can go forward. That's what I can do for you. I'm not going to argue with you anymore about all the other cases and what should happen and why do we do this and why do we do that. This just is a system. It is, and we're following certain procedures. We are, and everybody gets the benefit of it, not just because Mr. Mays is a good guy or a bad guy. It doesn't matter. We're going to follow the same procedure. We have the same protocol, and he's already been drawn. They figured it out. We'll have the results in a week. I'll see you in 2. Anything else, Ms. Coates?
No, Your Honor.
This case is set for May 9th, Friday, May 9th at 8:30 as a priority. So I get to see you guys first. You come in at 8:30, you talk to the AG. That's when they give you the results. That's when you'll know that he's the father or he's not. And then I have the basis on which to continue the lawsuit now that we know he did do the third draw. So it's a priority. You come in at 8:30. I won't be available for hearings until 9 o'clock after you check in with the state, and they probably get to talk to you for a minute or two.
Can I ask you a question, Your Honor?
Yes, sir.
What is a lawsuit? What you mean by lawsuit? Just child support or what?
A lawsuit, sir, is something that's filed in court under the law, and you're in court under a lawsuit. That's what the pleadings that the state filed. A paternity action against three children against you to see if you're the father. You got the right to do DNA. You've done DNA. We're going to resolve that in a couple of weeks. And then we go forward on custody, visits, child support, medical insurance, dental insurance, and maybe any back child support. And if there's any non-disclosures issues, if there've been family violence with you all, or any court costs, those are all the specific items that are going to be addressed in this lawsuit for these kids, with you as the possible potential father and Ms. Jackson as the mother. That's
Yes,
the
ma'am.
law.
Yes, ma'am. But the lady had gave me a amount that I have to pay already.
The lady gave you a note that you had to pay. I don't know what that means. It's possible
She gave me a amount. She gave me an amount that how much I would have to pay already.
they were trying to bring you into court to tell me I shouldn't give you another chance and for me to go forward on this case. Well, you talked me into figuring it out that you did do the draw. Now I'm going to wait on the results. So all that happened today is not my business. They negotiate with everybody when you come to court to see if you can work it out by agreement. And if you can't work it out by agreement, you come see me, who I get to decide things. And they're not going to talk to y'all long if y'all are on opposite pages of anyway. So I'll get to see you next time. And that's when you get to tell me what a bad guy is and all the bad stuff he's done, Ms. Jackson, not today. And Mr. Mays, if you have any income, if you've gotten any jobs, you get pay stubs, you bring them in. You got insurance available for the children, you bring that in, information about how much it costs or any of that.
How would I get insurance and I don't have none of the information, man?
I'm not saying you do. I'm just saying if you did, you bring it so you can show me some proof. If you don't,
can I get that information so I could get insurance then?
what information?
I need the information to get insurance, man. I don't have none of the information.
And you have a job and you're gonna pay for it?
No, ma'am. But I can have a family member help me pay for it.
The pleading has the children's names and their birth dates, and they might have the social security numbers. I'm not sure on your particular pleading, but if you have that, you have some information that you can go to wherever you want to. And I wouldn't tell you to get insurance. I would tell you get information on what it would cost you, what the coverage is, what the deductibles are, what the co-pays are, just what the package is, and what it costs.
Yes, ma'am. Because she told me I would be paying $330 a month, and I don't have that.
I don't know what that was, sir, but I wasn't a part of it. That doesn't matter. We're starting from square one next time. In 2 weeks, we start over once we get the results of the DNA. Got it?
All right, thank you.
If you're really not working or why you're not, you need to bring evidence or try to persuade me or bring a relative or two that would support your story, because you're good. Just because you don't have income or you're homeless doesn't mean you don't have a duty of support to your children. So I might have to order child support whether you like it or not. And whether she wants you to visit or not, I might have to order visits and figure it out between you all. I'm not going to terminate his rights. This is not a termination case, and I'll figure out what I need to do based on what I hear that day. But it helps if you all stay calm and bring evidence besides just your he said, she said. That's what I'm trying to get at, because that doesn't go very well, you've seen today. Okay.
Yes, ma'am. But yes, ma'am, I don't have any type of income. I don't have nothing. I don't have anything.
How old are you?
I'm 29 years, so Your Honor.
Well, you're gonna have to tell me why a 29-year-old doesn't have any job or doesn't have a roof over his head.
My background, ma'am. I done had buku job offers and everything. Like, they gave me the job at Make Around. They denied me because of my background.
I don't want to hear it now. I'm gonna hear it all next. But you're on notice for May 9th, Friday, May 9th at 8:30. Be here. Don't be late. And
May
also
9th?